Hello my friends. Digital mindset. I mean, do we really need another way of thinking? I argue that we do. That's what we're going to cover in this video. In the 5 change blocks, digital mindset and strategy are bundled together. That's because how we think affects how we strategize, and how we strategize really does affect the impact it's going to have on our business in the digital economy. If you haven't seen the video where we've covered the 5 change blocks, you can find it here, but this one we're going to simply focus on mindset and strategy. If we go right back as far as the Greek philosophers, we know that they have been telling us that there's different ways of thinking about problem solving. In 1967, Edward de Bono came out with his book called Lateral Thinking, and since then that has spawned a whole slew of books telling us about critical thinking, design thinking, creative thinking, thinking fast and slow, black box thinking, out of the box thinking, and even my favorite, what is my cat thinking? Do any of these things really help? When it comes to the transformation of a business so that it is deliberately, strategically repositioning itself in the digital economy, there is a different way of thinking. I'm going to introduce you now to Derek Rocks. Derek is a friend of mine and a wonderful entrepreneur and manufacturer. He has discovered that since the pandemic, the old way of delivering business and winning business has changed. His customers are now looking online and finding competitors. They're able to find something that is unique and fits their specialized niche. And he's wondering, how do I adapt to this change? His old way of creating strategies and his old mindset has been incremental change on last year. A few power statements thrown in about how we shall be the best in our industry, and then buying some new equipment and digitizing and optimizing his business further. That, I'm afraid, is no longer enough. He needs to change his value proposition. And in my experience as a consultant and educator, we find that business leaders and managers who go through a program of education tend to be substantially more successful in the future years than those that simply try to rely on the technology itself to be the point of differentiation. So Derek took his team through courses on leading transformation and how to create new strategies using data and optimizing the opportunity by predictive models, not SWOT analysis or strategy by numbers. That's gone, my friends. The second part that he has taken on is trying to understand how to communicate multiple value propositions at the same time to match what people are looking for in order to attract his new business clients. He's also taken a look at how he's going to leverage emerging technology to use his people and their skills for structured innovation and the risks that he is prepared to accept to make that happen. Now, as you can imagine, this just doesn't happen by osmosis. It takes deliberate practice. You need to get educated from a leadership perspective if we're to make strategies in this way. The result of what Derek has gone through has led him to come up with this list of what he thinks is different when he was just digitizing and when he had the digital mindset. So here are 6 things that Derek tells us he learned by changing his mindset and that of his team, moving from the digitizing mindset, where they just simply digitized everything in the business, and moved to a digital mindset, understanding what digital meant. In the digitizing mindset, he thought it was something that had to be done by others, in particular his IT team. Now he understands it's for leaders, managers, and decision makers that need to upgrade their mindset first. Derek had previously been making strategy based on technology, targets, rolling resource budgets, and market share projections, and while they're still important, he now understands by upgrading his mindset that strategy has to contain unknowns that the innovation teams are then asked to solve. The third thing Derek has come back to us with is that he thinks that communications was always about brochures, websites, and social media. Now he understands communications is about making sense of the rules of the transformed organization for everyone and shifting those perceptions. The fourth thing Derek tells us is that he had confused creativity as innovation. Now they make strategies that contain these unknowns that are answered through innovation, deliberate cycles of innovation. The fifth thing Derek tells us is that he used to always digitize his existing services, and technology was always perceived as a cost center. Now, him and in particular the Chief Technical Officer realize that the technology department itself has to change, and they have to become an innovation and value creation center. And last but not least, Derek used to think data was all about financial reporting and getting more likes. Now he understands the value of data, data-enriched decision making, and leveraging the business value from that data. Derek's business is doing very well. He's starting to get a lot more inbound inquiries. He's starting to find that there are new opportunities that he never knew existed. His teams are much more willing to accept change, and that pace of change is accelerating. He's now leveraging technology that he didn't even know existed to be able to create new products for his customers. He's starting to really differentiate his value proposition. Digital transformation isn't easy. If you like this video and you would like to see more, please give us a little like. If you need any assistance for leaders, managers and decision makers, we do of course run workshops for this. They're great fun and they're all specifically built around your business. And if you need some consultancy, we have consultancy teams across the world on standby and would love to help.